Cheers, everybody. We are back for another edition of Bourbon on a Budget. Myself, TJ Pittenger, Brendan Sonnone, who's taking a sip of something, and Ben Cock with you guys again. Gentlemen, it's Tuesday evening. We're recording again. How's it going?
Good, TJ. Great, even. Fantastic.
Brendan sounds so excited to be here.
We're so thankful to have Brendan on this show and all of the energy that he brings. Hey, guys, we have an exciting episode. Before we get into it, if you're listening to this, if you're watching it, if you could do us a quick favor and give us a quick 5-star review on iTunes, we would certainly appreciate it. 5 stars only. You can crap on us in the actual paragraph, but only click 5 stars because we appreciate those. If you're watching on YouTube, if you could upvote it or subscribe if you haven't, and then follow us on social media. We really enjoy the interactions there. Bourbon on a Budget. That's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all of your social medias, Bourbon on a Budget. And we enjoy interacting with you guys there. Let me get the words straight.
What happens when you have like 10 bourbons before you start recording.
We have a fun episode for you guys tonight. We are going to play a little blind taste test, a mystery whiskey drinking game that none other than our own Brendan Sonnone has set up and deliver these bourbons to us by hand because it's the only legal way to get bourbon to people when you don't live in the same town as them. So appreciate Brendan getting those bourbons to us so that we could play a mystery whiskey drinking game. After that, we're going to go back to our replacement series. We're on week 4 of 5. So far, we've replaced what, guys? Blanton's. We've replaced Weller 12. We've replaced Mixer's Toasted Barrel. And we have another replacement bourbon for you guys tonight. We'll tell you about it when we get to it. And then we'll get into our favorite segment, Pursuits and Purchases. And then we'll get out of here, wrap up, and preview the review show for this week. So thank you guys for hanging out. Brendan, tell us a little bit about this game that we're going to be playing.
All right, that's my welcome to the mystery whiskey game. We got TJ, we got Ben. No, I'm not going to do that the entire time. Don't worry about it. So I sent you guys 3 different whiskeys because I didn't. All right. Just going to go ahead and throw this out there. It's not going to be super well organized and structured because I'm doing it. First point in case here, case in point, I labeled the 3 whiskeys blind for you guys, A, B, and C. But we will not start off with A. We will start off with B, and it'll become apparent when you're tasting them why I don't want to blow out your palates by starting. Yep. So that's why. But
thanks for not blowing us out.
I didn't want to blow out your palates with the A. So
leave that in.
Yeah, I'm taking it out. But. No, that's staying.
No, leave it in. It's fine. I just need to recover.
That's what you said.
Woo!
Leave it in the A. Leave A in. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, come on. That was too obvious for Dan.
Yeah, it was kind of subtle.
Back to Brendan.
All right, welcome back. We've gotten canceled. We are now on a different channel. So we are going to go through the 3 different whiskeys that I've sent you guys. Again, TJ and Ben are blind to this. They have no idea what it is, even the types of it. And we're going to try to put a game to it and put some points to it here as they try to guess a few different categories. We're going to give them 1 point for guessing what type of whiskey it is. They're all American whiskeys, but is it a rye? Is it a wheater? Is it a bourbon? Is it something else? We're going to find out. 1 point for guessing what state it's distilled in. 1 point. All right, TJ, help me out with this. So we're going to guess for the proof. 1 point for guessing it within 5 proof points. 3 points for guessing it within 3 proof points, and 5 points if you get it spot on perfectly. Is that how we're doing it?
Correct. And you only get those points if you're closer. Like if I get it within 2, but Ben gets it within 1, he gets all those points. So
okay, and
you get a lot of reward for being better for each one.
And if you're tied, we will do whatever the points are distributed between the 2 of you if you both get the same amount away. 3 points if you guess what distiller made this whiskey, and 5 points if you guess what makes each of these whiskeys unique. Example, finish, strange mash bill ingredient, finishing, something like that. And then if you guess it dead on, I'm going to give you guys 100 points because you're not going to get any of these, but we'll just make you an automatic winner.
We will see.
So let's jump right into the game. We've got B up first. Brendan, I'll let you kind of keep emceeing this, and Ben and I will start to work on nosing and tasting this thing. And so I don't really know if you have much to say about B, but just fill some space with how your day was today.
All right, how my day was. Well, so B was one that I obtained fairly recently. Just give a little hint to you guys. I may have talked about it on a previous episode. Now, whether you actually are retaining what I say and listening to me, we're going to find out.
It annoys me that
I ignore you constantly.
All those times that Brendan spoke and I didn't listen. This is
coming back to bite you here. I'm going to keep score of this. So this is one that I was able to obtain recently. It's one, I'll just say this, a little hint for you guys. Okay.
No hints.
No hints. I mean, this will be a hint that you should be. It won't mess it up for you. It'll be good for the listeners and the viewers.
We'll see.
MSRP, it's like not too crazy. It's like $45 to $50. Okay. Secondary, however, it's a little harder to obtain. And it is. It's about 150 secondary. So it's a little harder to find. So you're welcome because it's a nice whiskey that I'm sharing with you right now.
All right. So how can we do some before I do it? Because I want to be honest here. If I have a whiskey in mind that I think it is, am I allowed to Google that to kind of help me with the if I was going to call the whiskey right now, like it's X, it's I'm not. This is not my answer. This is Buffalo Trace. Can I Google Buffalo Trace to give you then all the statistics on?
Yeah. If you want, I think that's totally fair.
Okay.
Let's go over real quick. Like, if you guys don't mind sharing notes, like what are you getting on the nose? What's standing out about it? Show the people the color of it. It looks pretty standard there based on, the way it looks. Yeah, it looks.
Color's not too intense for reference point for those looking at my screen. The A is much darker. So B is the second darkest, I would say. I have a feeling on this. I don't want to just give it away. I think I know what I'm going to guess here.
No,
right. But I want Ben to go first because I don't want to ruin it. Maybe we should. Well, I don't know. Ben, do you have an idea on where you're at with this? I'll give you my ideas on some proof and some different things. But Ben, do you have any idea on where you're at with this? Because I think I know. I think I know the bourbon.
Okay, so I don't know the bourbon because I didn't cheat apparently.
Do you even know that it is a bourbon?
Yeah, this is definitely this is not. Yeah, it's just a bourbon, straightforward.
Oh, is that a guess? Is that a guess?
Yeah, I will guess bourbon.
I bet this is a bourbon too.
1 point for each of you.
Okay,
nicely done.
Geez. Okay, I think this is the only. So I'm convinced this is a lower proof bottle, and I'm a little concerned because you said that this is like 150 on the secondary, and usually bottles trade higher with higher proof. But I'm getting like this should be like I'm getting like 92, 94 proof. Like it's not high.
What's your final answer?
I'll give it 92.
I'll go 95.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. It is. Oh, Ben, you're gonna fucking. Oh, sorry. Edit it back out. Can't drop that. We can just do like a cork pop right over it.
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Ben, you are going to kick yourself. It is 94 proof, so the points go. You would have been right. Points go to TJ on that. You were within 1. So what's that? 3 points for TJ.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But yeah, you guys are correct. It is a lower proof bourbon. Any guess for what state it's distilled in based on the flavor profile? Sometimes you can tell. This is kind of an odd question, I understand, but point to be had here.
Indiana? I mean, it's Kentucky, Indiana, or Tennessee. Yeah,
I'll go Tennessee here.
Okay, Tennessee for TJ. Ben.
Does this taste like MGP?
Their taste.
I'll go
everywhere they go. Depends on who ages it.
I know.
There is a very corn heavy.
Yeah, there is
MGP though.
I'll go Indiana. I'll probably be wrong, but I'll take it.
All right, no points for you. It is distilled in good old Kentucky. Not throwing you a curveball on that one.
We tried to go off there. Okay, so it's not. Okay, so I'll say it's not what I. So it's not what I was thinking. Like okay. I'm gonna have to get off of the idea of where I thought it was. Now I got to think back through what Brendan talked about.
I know. What would you be so excited about it? $45. I wonder if this is like an E.H. Taylor kind of.
Nah, those are mostly bottled and bond stuff. Oh, I guess there's.
Keep in mind the proof is a little lower, so it probably wouldn't be hitting.
Yeah, it would be a bundle. Man, I don't know. We shouldn't be Googling. I feel like we're cheating by Googling. And that's all I'm doing right now.
No, I don't. But I mean, you don't do process of elimination now. If you're like looking to see who the distiller is,
yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking I knew what it was, so I googled that bourbon and I looked up the stats for it, and that's why I was spot on with like 95 with Tennessee. I was guessing incorrectly on it. So I don't know what distillery, I guess, is what we're up to next, right?
I think this is going to be Angels Envy.
Moment of truth here.
Come on, TJ. Stop Googling.
What are you getting on the flavor? Let's talk about the actual whiskey itself. Like, what is standing out to you guys about the flavor?
I don't get anything that's like super apparent. I mean, your typical bourbon notes like vanilla. I mean, mine's gone, so I can't really.
So you enjoyed it.
I thought I was getting a finish on this.
I don't think I am at all. I don't get any
on the note.
notes.
This is amazing. Like what, like not knowing anything does going into it. You can even make a mistake thinking like Eagle Rare is Basil Hayden like an idiot.
I don't get any finish. If this thing is finished, I'd be surprised.
I was thinking like I was getting a finish on the nose,
much
less on the taste. I'm really pigeonholing myself here, but I kind of remember Brendan talking about this, so I'm going to. No, that couldn't be it.
I've enjoyed how serious you guys are taking this. I thought we would be kind of just like
stop Googling, TJ. Stop Googling.
And TJ's holding a pretty sizable 4-1 lead right now too. But this is big.
He's just dragging it out.
And he's still got some to work with, whereas Ben's just drank all of his.
I'll go Buffalo Trace.
I'll go Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace. To get the correct distiller is worth 3 points, and it is Buffalo Trace. TJ with 3 more points. Woo!
I'll call it. It's the kosher rye.
No, it ain't kosher rye. Is it kosher rye?
I mean,
this is a rye whiskey?
You guys got to guess.
Rye? Hold on, let me smell this again.
It's good.
I mean, I guess. Brendan's smiling like that's what it is. I feel like it'd be a dick move to give me Eagle Rare twice. I don't
really good.
Freaking put it past him though.
Eagle Rare's 90 proof, so it's not bad.
You'd be like, oh, it's 90. It's Eagle Rare good. Yeah, I mean, that's what he was talking about. So yeah, you're probably right.
All right, that's both of your guess.
Sure, why not?
All right, we both get 100 points. So
I feel like he doesn't get the 100 points. Let's make it 10 points. Let's make it 10 points.
All right, 10 points. But that's a good guess. So it was, well, you guys didn't technically guess what makes it unique, but you did guess it correctly. So it is the kosher rye from Buffalo Trace. So it's a rye recipe that is misleading, however, and that was kind of the curveball.
51% rye or something.
It's not even predominantly rye. It's mostly corn. I don't think the mash bill is actually released. They have a straight rye of this, and they just call this the kosher rye, largely because the rye is so. What makes this interesting? Why it's kosher? The Chicago Rabbinical Council basically has a say in producing the rye recipe here, so they will go ahead and make sure that the so I'm making sure that I have this correct here. This council will go ahead and make sure that the rye used in it and that the barrels that Buffalo Trace used are kosher, as is released after Passover. So this is technically it's a bourbon, a really good bourbon.
Okay.
So I get the point for that.
I got a point for bourbon.
I said it was a bourbon.
Yeah,
it says rye on it, but we got a point for that.
Yep.
And then, okay, so if you nail it on the head, I think you should get 10 points. And if you weren't the first to guess it, I think you should get 5. Like, Ben could have 5 for agreeing with me, but like he didn't know. Like,
I also don't really know secondary prices or care what Brendan says.
I mean, I would agree with TJ, but we didn't set that rule ahead of time for the next one.
Ben agreed with me. Well, okay, I'll take the 100. Fine. Ben gets something. Try to be fair.
TJ, you're going to beat him. You're already up.
Brendan, what's our next one?
Yeah, my teams have never blown a big lead in anything. So, yeah, let's go. C.
All right, so C.
Hey, that was a good one, Brendan. I like that. This is fun. This is fun.
There was definitely I was like, when you said Kush Rye, I was like, that does not taste like a rye.
Kush Rye.
Think of Kush. Oh God. Think about that. If that was readily available at $45, that'd be a really good one to have in the collection. Unfortunately, that's not how that operates. All right, so see here as you guys are getting into that one. I have a feeling that you're both really gonna like this. It's super unique. I don't want to say any more. I will say it's $90. $90 MSRP.
Stop telling us things like this.
No, I'm allowed. That's not a problem. That's a hint. That's a hint, and that's it. That's all I'm giving it to you.
This smells toasted to me. Super sweet on the nose.
Who's making that noise? I have the PG-13 podcast.
Holy cow! It's super sweet on the taste too.
Yeah, it tastes like peaches, like a ton of peach.
Interesting that you say that, Ben. Interesting. Keep in mind that for some other categories down the road.
I think I know what this is.
No. Well, don't say it yet because Ben's going to cheat. All right.
Well, I thought I knew the last one too. So you saw how that worked out. But it's a bourbon. It's a bourbon.
All right. Oh, so we want to start getting into it. We will guess the type of whiskey that this is. So type of whiskey. TJ says bourbon. Ben, are you confident in making a prediction yet?
Yeah, I think, there's a little bit of a spice or burn to it. I think it's more proof based than like rye based. So I think this is this is big. I would say it's like 110, 115, somewhere in that area.
Wait, you're guessing what kind of bourbon it is? You're
I know. I was talking through my thought process on.
Okay, I was like,
Ben's chasing down a good thought process. I think it's good. So go with your gut though, and
yeah, I'm thinking bourbon.
Okay.
Bourbon.
All right. Final answer for both of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Bourbon.
Yeah.
Not a bourbon. It is a rye.
This is a rye. Huh.
So it definitely wasn't what I thought.
It will, as more is revealed, it'll become more obvious why that's a rye. And Ben, I thought you were close to it when you were talking about the spiciness of it. Yeah. So guessing the state it's distilled in.
Oh, man.
Sometimes these may be distilled. This is the only one that's distilled in more than one. So if you can guess one of them, I think that's worth a point. So you have a scattershot chance here. And how about this? If you want to guess, there are 4 different places it's in from. So it's a blend, clearly. I guess I'm giving that away. How about we guess for each one if you want? I'll give you guys points for that.
So for every one that you hit, you get you get a point. Is that how we'll do this one?
Let's do it. Yep, let's do it that way. This will be a chance for Ben to make up some ground here.
Okay.
Give me Indiana, Tennessee, Kentucky, and Canada.
Canada.
Canada, not a state, but he guessed it. All right.
Yeah. What state? Canada.
Sometimes stuff comes over.
Gosh. Yeah. Okay, so definitely Kentucky, Indiana. Those are 2. I feel like I want to go with like a Washington.
Okay.
And maybe I'll go with who does blends though? Let me go Utah and throw Park City in there.
That's good guessing.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that was good. TJ, however, got all 4 correctly. He got the Canada curveball.
Canada? Jeez.
It is Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee, and Canada. Holy crap.
TJ's untouched.
Sorry, Ben.
Again, in all fairness, he had like 10 different ones before we started today. So he's been vetting different finishes and sourcing and distilling techniques.
Huh.
Wow, really impressive, TJ. Okay. All right. So proof. Ben was guessing proof earlier. He was talking about being a little higher proof in his mind. Now that we know that's a rye, now he knows it's blended. Let's see if you guys can kind of get what the proof is. Does it drink hot to you? Does it drink smooth? What do you guys get in terms of the oomph that proof may or may not bring out?
It's high proofed. and I don't mean to jump ahead too far, but it's finished in something. There's a sweetness to the rye that wouldn't be there if it wasn't finished. So I think the wherever and whatever it's finished in is cutting that proof. That sweetness is helping out, but it's high proof. Ben, go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. I would say this is like I said, probably like 110 range on proof. If it is finished, that's beating down a little bit of the burn. So it could be deceivingly high if it's finished in something that's sweeter. But I would think it'd be darker if it was finished in any kind of like wine, or it doesn't taste like a rum cask finish or anything like that. I don't know. This is interesting. With the color, it's throwing me off. Mm-hmm. So I'll throw in at 110 on my proof.
Okay. All right. I like the thought process there. TJ?
117.
117.
He is crushing it. It is 118.4. Oh my God.
Jeez.
I almost just dropped my glass, but we have really nice bourbon on a budget. You should go to big3rollup.com and get one while you're on it, but I almost dropped the glass. So
that's three. That's another 3. Oh my God. I mean, and Ben's thought process, we're talking about the finishing. And
but he didn't give enough points to it. If he said 100, he did it. If he said it was beating it down, I mean, you have to give it a little bit more, because I think it drinks around 110.
I'd say that Ben's in the right neighborhood with his thought process, and so is TJ, obviously, but TJ's just guessing a little bit better. He's playing the game a little bit better than Ben right now.
I know what this is. I know what this is.
All right, well, we are not going to do point. Hold on. Hold your horses. We're not going to do points for the distiller because it's blended. We'll save it for the final. So 5 points if you can guess what makes this unique. You've both mentioned finish. I will give you a hint. It is finished in something. Maybe even something.
A freaking lot.
So right. I'll say what's special about it is it's finished in rum cask, apricot brandy cask, Madeira cask, and
it's finished in freaking everything. Cask.
That's what I would say makes it special.
All right.
I would say this. I have a note of seagrass.
On 3, say what you think it is. 1, 2, 3.
Seagrass. Barrel. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. This is way better than I thought.
The finish. Really, I knew it was okay. So I knew from the start that it was. So I had this at Whiskey Cake, along with the Jefferson's cognac finish, and both of those were like absolute dessert to me. They were both fantastic. I should pour it into that peanut brittle over there that we'll review on Thursday's episode. But I knew immediately that it was one of those. From tasting one of those, like I just remember that desserty sweetness. Yeah, for 118 proof, this thing drinks like a
this drinks
105, 110.
It's really good.
It's fantastic. And Ben doesn't like finished stuff. Remember when Ben didn't like finished stuff? Yeah, well, you like it, buddy.
So, this is barrel seagrass rye. Do you guys remember when you got me into, that was kind of the intro into my rye experience, the double rye by
finished in
High West.
No, but that was just by High West. It wasn't finished, but I remember I was telling you I was getting some kind of sea grapes on it, and it was reminding me of being by the beach in Sarasota. And then a few weeks later, they were released as seagrass. So it is interesting that someone gets sea kind of elements with rye. So it's finished in Martinique rum, Madeira, which is a wine, apricot brandy, and also one other type of rum as well. So that's why the color is really not popping on there, guys, because it's finished with so much different type of stuff. And rum's probably not super dark if it's a lighter rum.
I like how I named rum, and I was like, it's probably not. I'm not getting a whole lot of rum notes. Boom. Finished like 3 different kinds of rum. Yeah,
but it's not that typical. These are different types of rums too. Yeah. One's like a French rum, so it wasn't quite what you would normally expect from like a Captain Morgan super sugarcaney dark rum. But really good. Like if this was a
excellent.
I like this a lot. I would definitely drink this, but it's $90, so it needs to be freaking excellent.
It is pretty close to it, and I think approachable to someone like me who's still getting it. Like it doesn't knock you off with the rye. It doesn't blow you away. It's subtle. That's nice.
I agree with that, and the finish helps it a ton. Now again, your new person isn't going to see the value in buying a $90 bourbon or rye or whatever. But what I'll tell you is, man, if we were going to review that, we're probably going to dock it on value. But as far as nose and taste and finish and cohesiveness and complexity, like it's probably going into the value round with like a 7 out of 10, right? Like it
Really
is
good.
probably going in, like we're probably giving the nose a full 1.75 or 2. We're probably giving the taste like a 3.5. We're probably giving the finish as 0.75 or a 1. Cohesiveness and complexity are probably getting the full 1. So we're going into the value at like 7 out of 8, and then value is a little tough. It's $90, but you're talking about a near perfect drink for an expensive price. And we're probably at that point giving it I don't know. Okay. So let's do this real quick before we go on to the next round. Let's say we all go into the value round with this at a 7 out of 8, and it's a $90 bottle. Where are you rating the value? Like, let's rate this thing real quick.
Out of 2, at least to me. So if you're spending that type of money on a whiskey, which I don't have a problem doing, I don't think all three of us do. Like, even though this is bourbon on a budget, we're okay blowing the budget for something special. It has to be special, unique, good quality. It hits all of those. So it gets at least a 1 for me. Like, it's not, I don't know if I can go full 2 for something that's that much money, but it's at least an average value because you're getting something extraordinary for an extraordinary price.
Yeah, I'll go next. Ben, you're on mute. I just didn't want you to go before me, but because you're on mute. But yeah, I'm the same way. I'm probably going to 1.25 because I'm going to say it's an above average value because you're getting it at retail, and that's the retail price. So if I'm going into value at a 7 out of 8, if you don't watch our review shows, go check out our review shows on the YouTube page, on iTunes, wherever you check out the podcast, Spotify, wherever. If I'm going in and saying this is a near perfect bourbon, if I'm giving this a 7 out of 8, I'm probably giving it a 1.25 on a value scale. Now, it's expensive, but you get what you pay for. And so 1.25, I'm probably rating this an 8.25 out of 10 if I just do that kind of off the top of my head. Ben, thoughts?
Yeah, I would tend to agree with TJ here. I'm leaning towards, the 1 just because it's $90, but man, it's good. It's really good. If you want something that's a little different, that's looking to like test your palate and just play around a bit, this is interesting. Definitely don't go buy this if this is like your third bottle that you're going to be buying. That's not what it's for. But yeah, 1.25.
I like it. I think it is worth that. And I think, like you said, it drinks much easier. Now, granted, I knew what it was when I was guessing 118, so don't think that I'm just amazing.
Oh, you dingus.
But it drinks lighter. The finish helps it. If you're looking to get into some ryes, man, that's a great bottle. Thank you, Brandon, for that.
Yeah,
glad you guys liked it.
Let's go to our third one. I don't even know how long we've been going, but these are my favorite episodes when they're not so scripted and we just kind of like have a good time and we're talking about brown liquor. So I don't care how long we've been going. I don't know how long we've been going, but Brendan, do you want to tell us a little bit about try to get my words straight, and then we'll get into nosing and drinking it.
So speaking of brown liquor, this one is almost black. After the screen is off me, I'll have TJ hold it up. It is like a dark tea almost. This is one that I got. Yeah, look at that. It is, and that's with the light on it too. It is a extremely dark,
super dark,
intense whiskey. This is one I actually got when I was down in St. Pete, and my dad, who's still fairly new into bourbon, I shared it with him. He absolutely loved it. He kept like saying it smelled like Christmas to him, and it does. Like, he makes these Italian Christmas cookies, and it does smell a lot like that to me. It's one that I've had on my list of like 10 bourbons or whiskeys. And it's actually not a bourbon, so I didn't give it away. Spoiler. But 10 different whiskeys that I want to try this year. I can't find it at all in Tallahassee. I found it down by you guys. It is about $40 to $45. Super unique, perhaps one of, if not the most unique American whiskey that I have ever tried. So
dang it. I wish I listened to you more because you told us what you got, right?
I did not. I did not share this with the idea of doing this episode for you. So
guys. You didn't tell us what you got.
You have no idea.
You never mentioned this. Okay, good. I like that because I'd rather you not mention it than me have forgotten what you said. Is this something? Okay. If you don't real quickly,
as we're going into the final round, 34 points for TJ, 23 for Ben. So Ben, you need to throw a little Hail Mary here and get it right on the dot. Get those 10 points in addition to get a few more things that TJ did. So just bring your A game. Let's make it close.
So what I do want to ask, and if you don't want to answer this or move on, just ignore me. But like, is this something that Ben and I are familiar with? Like we've heard of, we know of it, or is it like have we heard of this, or have we had it before? Have we heard of it before?
Super obscure.
Like this isn't a whiskey that we've never heard of in our lives.
You may have. I know I've heard of it multiple times through watching a certain, maybe this will be a hint, a certain bourbon review channel, and based where those guys are located, that this is something I've like thought was interesting and sounded really cool. I've heard of it multiple times. You'll probably know the distillery when you hear it, but I don't know if it's one that you'll guess. It's a little more abstract and crafty.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so maybe that's enough for you there, but it's going to be super unique. If you guys can guess any of these other than like maybe proof, I will be floored. I would be super impressed.
So Ben, let's talk about it. What are you getting on this nose here? Because I am getting, oh my gosh, it's sweet. Like I'm getting, and I'm not giving this as my guess, Brendan. So don't be marking down points just yet. But I'm almost getting a peerless sweetness on the nose. Like that. That's kind of what I'm smelling, and I don't think it's peerless because I've had that so much that I believe and I also know that it's not like I know how much peerless is. And it's not $45. But that's kind of the nose that I'm getting on it. And I don't know if I'm just crazy or not, but that's just so much sugar on the front end that it's absurd.
I like you that you're saying sugar because like for sure, like I said, my dad almost got like the Christmas baking notes, but
yes,
with the wintry kind of
the brown sugar cinnamon mix. Like it is, I can see where he gets that. Ben, I'll shut up and let you talk for a minute.
Yeah, I get like a burned sugar kind of sweetness, but I get a ton of smoke. Like this seems very so we've already established this is not a bourbon, right? We've already established that because this is definitely not.
I have, sorry.
Okay.
So no points there because we'll both say rye.
Right. Rye? I don't know if I get.
What is it if it's not a rye? We going somewhere else?
Yeah, it seems like a.
Do you want a hint?
It seems like a malt to me.
Oh, Woodford Reserve malt.
All right, 0 points for TJ. He's eliminated. It's all better.
And he still won't get it. He still won't come back.
This is like a malted barley bomb. It seems finished in like a. The problem is the color is really messing with my head. This is like super dark. You were saying so like, I could see it being like a bourbon finish in a Scotch barrel, like an ex-Scotch barrel, but the color is like all wrong for that. So I'm struggling.
Flavor? Have you tried it yet? Have you tasted it?
Yeah,
because it's wild. The taste is wild. I'll just say that there's some smokiness to it. I'll say that
definitely like smokiness, like Scotchy notes.
It's meaty. It's kind of meaty. Look at that. Look at Brandon.
I'm so excited for both you guys are like hitting this, like considering that your palates, this is why I say this for the end, right? Because this would totally blow up your palates. Right, but you guys are detecting the correct notes on this to a T. Whether or not you know it at this point, like it's just, you may just not have heard of this, but you're getting the correct notes. So I'm really impressed by this.
It's meaty. It's smoky. I feel like, okay, so Christmas cookies, I don't know that I'm getting the Christmas cookies. I could see, I think, where you would get that. Man, I'm more so getting
like clove and
I'm more so getting like, I don't want to get paused here, but I'm more so getting like sausage around a campfire type flavor, like beef jerky or things like that.
Sausage around a campfire.
Dude, I am getting
a bunch of dudes sitting around eating sausage with their bare hands.
Smoked sausage and meatiness and.
Let's start with proof here because I think proof is low hundreds, 103, 105.
I don't know. I've had so much today that I have no clue. I went to Whiskey Cake. We'll talk about it later, but I went to Whiskey Cake with my dad before this.
Talk about priming your palate. Jeez.
Part of me thinks it's a. Part of me wonders how. Well, part of me wonders if it's higher because Brendan just had us try the 118 thing before this, So is he going to really drop down to the low 100s? Maybe, but it kind of throws it for a loop, right? Because I can't be sure.
I don't know if I'm interpreting the smoke as proof or not. You know, like is that because I feel like it's definitely finished in something. Like it's a malt finished in.
Well, I'll say it's easy to drink. I'd say it's easier to drink than the last thing. I don't love it.
I'm going 103 proof, Brendan or TJ. You jump in there.
Give me 110.
All right, we're gonna have to do some math here. The proof is 106. So Ben's closer.
I got it. Yeah.
Wow. And but yeah, so 106. Both you guys were close. You're in the neighborhood. Ben's closer by 1 point, but he gets all of those points. So
yes,
and because you're within 3, you get 3 points, right?
I think so.
Within 3,
so.
That's right.
Yes.
All right. So Ben, that's big because Ben needs to not only get the 10 points, but he needs to get a little closer with it too.
Don't call it a comeback.
Yep. So chipping away at it. Do you guys care to guess the type of whiskey? We've established it's not a bourbon. It is American, so it's not a Scotch malt or anything like that.
Malt can be American.
Yeah, it can be, but it's not
a single malt. Could be, yeah.
Yeah, no, it could be. There's American whiskeys that are all like 100% malt are some of my favorites. So, man, it's possible.
TJ, you're in the lead. Lead goes first.
Type. I mean, it's not a rye, so where even are we at this point? I legitimately have no clue. I was just planning on, copying off of whatever Ben said.
Well, let's see if I can help you guys out a little bit because this is tough, and I don't think
this feels malty to me. I don't know. This feels very malty.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you're gonna guess.
I'm gonna go with a malted whiskey.
Okay.
It's probably wrong. Don't get me like I'm probably wrong, but I have that funk. That funk.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll go with a man. I am.
This is great podcast material. Keep just silent.
Edit all this out.
No, people will be fine.
Meanwhile, I'm just drinking all this great baby stag. Oh, not spoiler for later.
Baby stag? I just say Stag Junior.
Oh, okay. It's a little bitty stag.
Stag Jingus.
I'll go with a smoked corn whiskey.
Smoked corn whiskey?
That is 100% correct, TJ. It is 100% blue corn whiskey. Wow. All right. Unfortunately, that's only worth 1 point. I feel like it should be worth more.
I was going to say.
But it's not.
Rules is rules. All right. So
this is so different. This is so different than anything we've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so different.
Yeah.
I know I just said that like 4 times.
No, but I don't think we can do it justice to explain.
Right.
We should do a review on this down the road.
We should. Did the place you got this from have more of it? Because I would love to go buy a bottle tomorrow, and the next 20 people that add us on Instagram, I'll mail them a sample of it. Did the place you got it from have more or no? We'll talk about it off air.
Yeah, no, they did.
Because this is so wild that I think more people need to try it because
you can get this online like fairly easily. It's not sold up by me in Tallahassee, but it does not as crazy search for it. No, it's super unique. And
this is 100% corn. You said 100% corn whiskey.
It is blue corn. I don't want to say from where because that might give it away. But it is.
You want to go state, Ben? Let's go state.
Keep in mind the color on it. I think it would be a hint. That'll be the only hint I will give you guys.
I'll let Ben go first because I think I know what it is.
Okay.
Dang it. Okay. Well. Blue corn. So maybe that's where the color's coming from? I don't know. All right. I guess one of the only states that we haven't really talked about yet would probably be maybe like a New Jersey or a Texas.
Those are both very close. So if you had to guess one or the other, Ben,
I would
what
probably
you guess?
go Texas based on the giggling after I said that state.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was just that you went with New Jersey in one and then Texas.
I don't know if there are two more opposite states in politics,
he could've gone,
geography.
There are
He could've
distilleries
gone-
of both
he
of
could've
those.
gone- he
There's
could've gone
distilleries of both
Vermont and
those states.
Texas.
Yeah, I'll go
No.
Texas as well.
Okay. All right. 1 point for both you guys. It is Texas. Maybe you're both on to something here.
Oh, I'm on it. I am on to something.
All right. It could have gone Vermont and Texas in terms of geography and politics being different too. Pretty contrasting there, but no need to make this political. All right. So we are going to go to distiller here. We have determined that it is in Texas, which I feel like is a pretty big giveaway if you are starting to kind of get to what this is and the uniqueness of it.
I'd like to solve the puzzle.
Oh, you're just
I would like to solve the puzzle.
I'll
What
go
you
with
got, TJ?
I'll go with Balcones Brimstone whiskey.
Balcones?
Say it again.
Balcones?
Yeah, but what else did you say?
The Brimstone whiskey, is that correct?
I mean, I don't know if I think we just have to jump ahead at this point. I was going to cheat and give Ben the answer, but sorry, TJ just freaking nailed this and deserves it. And given that he was already this far ahead and got the 10 points.
The Googling on this is top notch.
Fantastic. So suck it. Bro, this is the most. Listen, I'm not here to cheat to win, but someone has to do it. Listen, This is the most unique whiskey that I think I've ever had. And it doesn't have the. So I'm not a Scotch guy yet. You know, Brendan's got to convert me to being a Scotch guy. My buddy Joe likes a good Scotch and he listens. I appreciate him, but I'm not a Scotch guy yet. But the smokiness on this, this is not an everyday for me. Ben, let's talk about it. This is not an everyday for me, but it's good. It's unique. It's different. It's something that I would share with other people. I would try. I would let other people try. Hey, listen, our next 20 followers on Instagram, if you DM me, if you follow us, Bourbon on a Budget, and DM us, I'll send you a sample of this.
I need to try this now. Like I've been holding on, didn't want to spoil it. I'm going to throw out this nasty one that we reviewed.
So now you just ruined the review for Thursday. Ben, what are your thoughts on this? Because I thought it was good. It was different, but it was good.
It was definitely different. I would take Seagrass 10 times over before drinking this again. It's not that it's bad, but I just really enjoyed the Barrel Seagrass. And Barrel has been putting out like great product anyway. So that kind of just reinforces them putting out, pretty stellar stuff. So would I drink it again? Probably. Would I drink the Seagrass a lot more? Yeah. Seagrass.
What do you think about sharing this with people that, like, I would love to introduce my stepdad to this. I'll tell a story about him and I later. My dad and I actually went outside. I would like to introduce new people to this. It just kind of for a variety type thing.
My dad legitimately liked this more than he liked the Pappy the most, but he liked this more than Eagle Rare. He liked it more than Maker's 101. Like he liked it more than some pretty standard.
Maybe he's a Scotch guy. Like to me, this is very Scotchy. It has that.
I think it's a good mix, but I think it's a good mix between bourbon and Scotch.
I think this would be a transitional. Like if you guys for TJ, like this would be a transition. If you like this, maybe there's some lightly peated Scotches that you would be a fan of.
Yeah.
So what makes this real quick? What makes this smoky? So you guys know, it's smoked with sun baked Texas scrub oak. What is Texas scrub oak? I don't know. There is like some like debate, and Balcones won't release it, like whether they're taking the corn and they're drying it with the smoke from the scrub oak, much like how like peat, which is basically like moss, in a Scottish bog, is used to dry malted barley, and that's what gives it that kind of earthy sea flavor. Or whether the smoke is kind of infiltrated into the distillate after it's already kind of made and ready to go in a liquid form. So that's not entirely clear, but that is what makes this super unique. One, the aging process of Texas makes it super baked, and like this is probably only like 2 years old. I don't think there's an age statement. It can't be that old. Texas just absolutely bakes it because of the climate. 100% blue corn. So it's not just regular, like 100% corn. It's a blue corn. Probably adds to the color a little bit as well. and then 3 that smoked Texas scrub oak, which is super unique. I don't know if anyone else is using scrub oak to smoke their whiskey.
Where did you get this at Lucan's?
It was either at Lucan's or Total Wine. It was one or the other. I think it was Total Wine. And this is about, they have Balcones all over the place. Balcones is considered a really good brand. Not my cup of tea normally, but this, really good.
Yeah, I may pick up a bottle of this. We'll get into some other stuff here in just a minute, but I may pick up a bottle of this because I think this is a good one to share with people. So yeah, if you're listening, go follow us on Instagram. Like I said, I know I said next 20, but let's just go next 10. I don't want to be mailing out 20 packages. Next 10 followers on Instagram, we'll send you out a Balcones, and then I'll share the rest of the bottle with some family and friends. All right, on to our next segment. Hey, that was fun, Brendan. That was a fun way to do this. I think we should each say, I'll say this. I think not necessarily next week, or I think once a month, we should set this up and do it again. So I'll do an ABC next week, or I'm sorry, next month. Sometime in July, I'll drop it off at Ben's house. I'll mail you a package of
Whoa,
ABC.
No, you won't. You won't
by my personal courier that makes trips to Tallahassee often.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll do an ABC next time, and then Ben can set up an ABC where he brings me a couple, and then we send you some, because I think that's a fun game to play. That was enjoyable. The Googling definitely makes it.
Yeah, TJ got every single one of them, but you guys both did a really good job guessing. But TJ literally got 10 points in that category for every single one. But you both did a really good job kind of figuring out and getting close.
I'm amazing. Well, once you start to pick a couple of things out and you get a couple of things correct, it's a lot easier to do. So anyway, our ongoing segment, we'll try and make this one a little bit quicker because we have been going for a while. And I told these guys last week, we did the Maker's Mark episode. I thought it was one of our best episodes. It was very unscripted. It was just a conversation, and I thought it flowed really, really well. And we had one of the best conversations we've had. I haven't listened back, obviously. We're doing this live, but I think this is going to be up there with that. And so I really enjoy
the 3 bourbons you've had now, the one before, and the 4.
All right, let's relax. But I do think that our best episodes are the ones that we plan them well, but they're not so scripted. I really do enjoy the bourbon conversation where we just kind of say, hey, here are 2 or 3 topics, and let's roll with those. So I do feel like this has been a really good one. So that said, we don't want to keep you guys too long. We appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you checking us out and hanging out with us. We're replacing something tonight. Does anybody have a bottle of it? Because I have a bottle of it, and I can just show the people.
Boom.
Right now we're talking. Ben, where's your bottle? Stag Junior. Baby Stag, as Brendan likes to call it. Stag Junior. We are replacing it tonight. We have I have batch 14. Brendan, you know which batch you have?
I have 2. I have 14, just like you, which we'll get into it. But yeah, really like 14 and 11, not as much. But yeah, we got 2 Stags, 2 Stag Junior, 2 baby Stags, little Stag twinsies.
Stagettes.
Yes.
So we're replacing Stag Junior. Why are we replacing Stag Junior tonight, boys?
It's hard to find would be the first thing I can think of off the top of my head.
Ben?
Because it's super sought after. People will overpay for it. It's super high proof. It's like 130 proof, right? At least the newer bottles. So it's hard to find. I have been searching for one, like just off the shelf forever. And you won't walk into any store and it'll just be there. So that's why we're replacing it. Find something different. Find something not better, probably not better, just as good. Slightly worse, maybe.
Something that you can find, however.
Right.
Do you want to give him, TJ, do you want to give him like kind of like the background on what baby Stag, sorry, I won't say that anymore. Stag Junior is?
Stag Junior is a product from Buffalo Trace. It's an uncut, unfiltered offering from Buffalo Trace that was released back in 2013, a great year for you FSU fans that are listening. A more accessible version of George T. Stagg from the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. It was poorly received compared to the initial hype. It's somewhere between 7 to 9 years old, not an exact age statement. MSRP is around 60-ish. Ben said that he wasn't able to find it on shelves anywhere. Every bottle Ben's ever gotten has been from me, so you're welcome. And it was not your It was not your birthday this week. It was mine. And I'm still waiting on my present. $60-ish dollars. It is. Yes, I'll take that. 66 or $60-ish dollars. I got it for 55. So you can find it in that range. What do we like about Stag Junior, gentlemen? So Brendan's not a fan. So like Brendan, go ahead.
No, I will say that it depends on the batch very much. In their earlier versions, up until like 10, 11, it just drank super duper hot. I'm you guys know, like, I can handle high proof bourbons and whiskeys.
Yeah, you're okay.
You're a little baby.
What? I thought we said I was a proof for. I mean, I love 1920, and that's what, 110. So like, I'm fine swimming in those waters. I love 110. It's 115. I mean,
130. 130. Who can't drink 130? What kind of a sissy are you?
It's not like it depends. Like, I love George T. Stagg. I think that is exquisite, and that is often in that range for proof. It just drinks super hot, and it's just super oaky and harsh and not smooth, not cohesive. We talk about all the time. There's just not a lot like to unpack on there because the alcohol just punches you in the face. It doesn't unfold in a nice way. The 14, however, I think it's delightful. I think it's excellent. I think it's worth every bit of the $65 or so I paid for it. It's got cherry, it's got chocolate, it's got vanilla, it's got caramel. It does have a nice touch of oak, and it has that proof that kind of slaps you around a little bit, but it has other flavors going on other than just the alcohol burn. So I don't want to say I dislike Stag Junior. I think it just depends on the batch, and more recently, the last year or two, the batches they've been putting out have been decent. Ben changed my mind on that.
I don't disagree too much, but I love high proof, unlike Brendan, who can't handle high proof.
That's not that.
Anyway, back to the truth. It is all gas, though. It is and fire, as opposed to like your George T. Stagg, which is still super high proof, but has some, mellowing characteristics to it to kind of bring it down and let it drink really. I hate smooth, not smooth. Warm, right? So in that consideration, with drinking a super high proof bourbon, all gas, right? You've heard that term before. I'm going with to replace Stag Junior.
Wait. I haven't even talked about Stag Junior yet.
Oh, well, okay.
Ben's is very eager to get this over with.
Ben's ready to go watch the Lightning game. So I understand you, Ben. Hey, what I will tell you about Stag Junior, it is fantastic for what you pay for it. It's a $55 to $60 bottle. Secondary, you're looking at around 100, 120, maybe 130. 150 would be too much. I think we did our episode on the secondary market, but you're talking $100-ish bottle on the secondary market.
You would pay $100 for it, Ben? You would pay $100.
No way.
Oh, you're saying no, that's too much. Okay.
I wouldn't pay more than $80 for this bottle.
That's exactly what I was going to say. $80 would be kind of my threshold for it. But then again, you say 80, and if you see it on the shelf for 85, are you going to grab it knowing that it's 120 secondary?
I think
that's where you get into that's where you get into that gray area. But what I'll tell you is Ben and I have had a couple of times together the George T. Stagg, the granddaddy of them all when it comes to this bourbon.
Yep.
And I hate to do this to you folks, but the George T. Stagg blows this out of the water. It's not even close. The George T. Stagg is everything that's good about this times like 10. It's softened
around the edges.
That's
funny enough, it's 10 times the price.
So. Yeah. So on the secondary market, it's $650. So you're going to get what you pay for. Retail though, George T. Stagg's around $100, right? 100 anywhere from.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, you're not going to get it for that. But the Stag Junior is good, especially
it's good. It's not bad.
I've had 5 or 6 bourbons tonight, so it's going to be easy for me to drink. I'm going to enjoy it. Brendan may be a little girl about it, but
Brendan's never drinks anything more than 110. He's over. He's like,
that's not. We just determined like 1920, which is under 50. No, it is like you guys say that I'm old when I'm only a year older than you. I will not stand for it. I can handle proof.
Listen, Grandpa, what do you think about it?
The Stag Junior is super batch dependent to me too, which I know, like when you're talking about single barrel, like, there's going to be some hit or miss, but like if I will send you, TJ, I will send you down the 11, you try it next to the 14 and you tell me like that the 11 is enjoyable. compared to the 14. The 11 to me is frankly like it needs to be mixed with like a Weller or something lighter than that to smooth it out.
Okay, you send me all of your good stuff, and I would be happy to drink it and rate it for you. So,
send me some old tub, please.
Man.
Yeah, you got a little bit more right here out of Ben's sample. All right, Ben, what are you replacing your
I got
baby stag, as Brendan refers to it.
I have the perfect replacement. All right,
perfect.
let's talk the perfect one. All right, super high proof, right? Hit or miss, depending on the release, right? All gas, no brakes. All gas, though, right? Super high proof. How about this? 1792 full proof. Some of the releases in the store picks are great. Some almost undrinkable, very similar to Stag Junior, right? High proof, Stag Junior is 130. Full proof is 125. So you're right up there. Some of it's great, some of it's not so great, but you can find that for like 55, 60 bucks on the shelf. I would recommend highly, looking for store picks. That'll still be that similar price point. Also, it's by Barton, who has some ties to Buffalo Trace. So look at that. 1792, full proof.
I like it. Brendan, you're up.
Kind of in a similar realm as Ben, I went with Knob Creek Single Barrel. This was also a store pick. I've only had a couple bourbons tonight.
You're hammered.
So
Brendan's blackout.
What is similar about this to the baby stag? Stag Junior is proof. This is 120 proof. This was particularly a store pick from Jay's up in Three Oaks up in Thomasville. Is almost 15 years old. It's 3 months away from being 15 years old. Again, we're talking about 120 proof, 15-year-old bourbon. That was only $45. It holds its weight. I mean, I've been going back and forth with the Stag Junior 14 batch and the Knob Creek store pick here. And I will say that they are fairly similar. The Stag Junior has a slightly better nose, a more approachable palate. The finish for the Knob Creek is better to me. It does have some of that kind of peanut butter, brittle type of vibe that Jim Beam products can have. But overall, like fairly similar with the brown sugars, the dark, harsh, oaky tannins, a little bit of oak and leather as well. So yeah, and both are very similar. Both are very dark, heavy. But we're talking about accessibility. You can find Knob Creek Single Barrel everywhere. You can find the store picks at your favorite liquor stores fairly frequently. Certainly worth trying out. If you get one that's 10 to 14 years old, it's almost always going to be a certain level of high quality there. So to me, easier to find and usually pretty good quality.
I've seen a lot of those picks, Brendan. I've seen them. So locally here in the Tampa area, I've seen them at Lucan's. I've seen them at Corona Cigar. I've seen them at Gaspar's. Remember, guys, we had Jimmy on. Gaspar's did one with one of the Lightning players holding up the Stanley Cup on the back of their pick, which was really, really cool. I had just bought, and I'm a big Lightning fan. They're playing right now, and I'm trying to hurry these guys along so I can go watch the rest of the game. But I'm a big Lightning fan, but I had just bought 2 of those Knob Creek 120 proof store picks from 2 other stores, and I just did not want to buy a third one. But again, Gaspar's had one with the Lightning on the back of it. Star Liquor here in Brandon, Florida had a pick of it as well. So yeah, fairly common. You see those come out around the beginning of the year, and then at different times throughout the year. So great replacement there, Brendan. I like it a lot. I think that's a really good one. I'm going to go with mine. Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered.
That was my backup. Good call.
Yeah, you are dropping about 15 in proof there, but a little bit easier to drink. Listen, I gave Stag Junior a lot of credit. I've had several bourbons tonight, and it's still pretty tough to drink. Man, that 130 proof smacks you. The George T. Stag, having that ruined me because it makes drinking 130 proof so easy that drinking Stag Junior now is like, whew, that is a lot, boys and girls. So the Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered, still not super easy to get. I'm not going to lie to you, but it should be easier to get than the Stag Junior is. Smoke Wagon, uncut, unfiltered is my replacement. Any thoughts on our replacement series before we go on to pursuits and purchases?
The one thing I will say real quick is I am surprised that none of us went with Elijah Craig's barrel proof. That is super popular. Too hot for me because I'm a sissy. Apparently, we've established I can't handle the heat. But I'm surprised that you guys didn't go with the Elijah Craig barrel proof series.
So I saw Sean today. That's a tongue twister. And dropped him off a bottle of the C920, I believe. Sean, correct me if I'm wrong. You send me a message and tell me that I'm an idiot. But I dropped a bottle off of the C920 to Sean from the Southwest Florida Bourbon Society. Go follow them on Facebook if you're not. They've got a great group, and we had Sean on several months ago to chat about their group. They've got a store pick coming out soon that I'm super excited about. He was telling me about today, and I'm excited to get my hands on that store pick that's coming out very, very soon. I'll talk with you guys about it off air because he told me he could get us some bottles if we wanted. So, all that said, Sean is a big, big fan of that Elijah Craig barrel proof, and a lot of people are. I know they're on the shelves right now at Lucan's. I know there's a bunch of places you can get them. I had a buddy tell me that he saw them at Total Wine. All that said, I'm not as big of an Elijah Craig barrel proof fan as a lot of people are.
Drink's too hot.
Yeah, as hot as this drinks, right? As hot as this 130 drinks, and I'm going to finish this Stag Junior. That Elijah Craig barrel proof drinks even hotter, and I know there are 3 different versions. I know there's the A121, the B5290, 5920, something like that, and then the C920. I don't know, whatever.
They release 3 each year, right? That's
and they're still, man, they're just so fiery. I mean, they're fine if that's what you're going for, but I'm not as big of a fan. Maybe you mix that in the toasted barrel and you come out with something fantastic. Episode idea. But
I texted you guys that like a week ago.
Yeah, well, maybe that's where I got it from. So not as big of a fan of the Elijah Craig. That's also not super easy to find right now. It's out at a lot of places, but that's also a little bit difficult to find. You will find some Stag Junior store picks here and there. Lucan's had one. There are more coming out, so check your local liquor stores for their Stag Junior picks. They're coming out, coming hot and heavy. Any other ideas on replacement before we go to pursuits and purchases? Doesn't look like it. Pursuits and purchases. Trademark, register, trademark, copyright, patent pending. Brendan, start us off.
I bought a week or two ago. Where is my Balcones? Balcones Brimstone. I bought it. You guys try it? You ever hear it? I am. So I'm trying to behave. I'm not trying to buy a bunch of whiskey right now. Go up to upstate New York. I think I talked about this last week. So I'm trying to be good and wait until I get into a different market. See if I can buy anything up there in a week or two when I go see the in-laws and buy something in a different market. I will say I am on the lookout for 2 different scotches. Not this is a Scotch podcast, but I will say that I'm looking for Lafroig's. I think it's Cardias. It's their annual release. It's usually Lafroig, which is super smoky, super briny, finished in something. This is finished in a Pedro Jimenez sherry cask, but it's also cask strength, which I would really like to try if I could find it for some $100. Also, Lagavulin is doing their Nick Offerman release, which they did a couple of years ago. I had that 11-year. It's really good offering for Lagavulin. Again, they're smokier Scotch, very high end in terms of the flavor profile. But this one is finished in Guinness Stout cask, I believe, which I love. The Jameson cask finish one, which is really, really good. I think this would probably be really nice in the stout for that smoky, scotchy, peaty vibe. The Offerman Lagavulin offering offers.
Ooh, that's a tongue twister. Ben, pursuits and purchases. Are you looking for anything? Have you gotten anything recently?
Yeah. So still looking for the same stuff as last week, but I was able to purchase a new release, almost a store pick, you could call it. It was a pick by Costco, Kirkland Signature Small Batch. They are releasing a new series. We're definitely going to be reviewing these. A set of 3 bottles, right? One is a small batch, which is this one, $20 for a liter. It's 92 proof, and it's sourced from Barton 1792. And they have also coming out with a bottle and bond and a single barrel offering. Bottle and bond, of course, 100 proof. single barrel will be 120 proof. If you keep up with the San Francisco Distillery kind of bourbon awards, you will know that 1792 Bottled and Bond got like first place in I think the Bottled and Bond competition. So you got to think that the Kirkland Signature Bottled and Bond, sourced from Barton 1792, is going to be a pretty stellar bottle of whiskey for, I'm not sure what the price is yet, but it'll be a liter. This was $20. A $20 bottle for a liter?
What's
92
the proof on
proof?
it?
92? It's not 80, I'll tell you that much.
So that's a full liter? That's a big, yeah.
A liter, dude.
All right.
You know, this is a little baby bottle in comparison. Look at that.
Put that old tub down. Put it down.
Oh,
Put it down. Spoiler alert.
Saying.
So a couple things. One, how's Costco going to pitch a single barrel?
That was a great cork pop. My buddy Joe said last week he can't hear a cork pop without expecting guitar music afterwards. I get it, man. I get it. So, all right, go ahead with your question.
So I just don't know how Costco is going to manage to do a barrel pick or single barrel, of anything, like one barrel to every Costco. No. Two, I had a dream the other night that I got a BJ's wholesale membership and went to get their liquor instead and found a Michter's Toasted in there. Didn't happen, but that was my dream. It was like up in an attic. It was kind of weird. Take that, Costco. How dare you hide George T. Stagg from me?
Yeah, I had a dream the other day that I was getting shot at, and like I had to like escape it with like my wife and stuff. So like I'm glad that you had a dream about like Costco single barrel and stuff. Because like, what kind of weird dreams are you having?
Yeah, TJ was getting shot at. Brendan was getting a BJ's membership. So it's great.
Hey,
I am not pursuing anything at the current moment. Shout out to my stepdad who brought me a bottle of Wheatley vodka, which is an excellent vodka made by the Buffalo Trace Distillery. You can even drink that neat. I don't know if you guys knew that, but you can drink that neat. Wouldn't advise it. Seems like a true alcoholic thing to do, but you can drink that neat. It's not the worst. But if you mix that and you make your what do they make with vodka, boys?
Martinis
or your vodka and cranberries, your vodka and orange juices, just
White Russians.
Yes, it's excellent. But
I have really good things about Wheatley.
A really clean. Okay, so he brought it for me for my birthday, which was yesterday. Or
happy
Sunday
birthday!
Again. Nothing.
TJ.
Brendan didn't wish me.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you, Ben, for my birthday wishes. Brendan,
you're welcome.
So a really good, clean, easy drinking vodka. If you're into that kind of thing, I know we're more of the bourbon variety here, the brown liquor, but Wheatley does a good job for vodka. I'm not a big vodka guy, but it was palatable. It was good. I'll say that. So I don't know what I'm pursuing right now. I'm always kind of on the lookout for anything Michter's. I love them. I think we have an episode coming up in a few weeks that will do a product of theirs. I'm always on the lookout for anything Michter's that we can get. It's not their standard stuff. I love the 10 years. I love the toasted barrels. I don't know what they're doing just yet. I know in 2017 they did the rye. 2018 was the bourbon. 2019 was the sour mash. 2020 they did rye again. So I would assume that 2021 is a sour mash, but who knows? They could be doing something different. So always on the lookout for anything Michter's. If you guys get a lead on it, of course, let me know. But I'm the one that finds stuff on this podcast. So probably not going to happen from one of you. Any thoughts before we give some shout outs and get out of here?
I have one last thing.
Oh God.
At 11:25 on June 13th, 11:25 a.m. Enjoy some nice extra nice bourbon today. Happy birthday, TJ. Yeah, what are you drinking tonight, Ben? Thanks, bro, from TJ. Thomas Handy, TJ says. See you in a couple hours. Ben says the only handy you need is not from me.
Yes.
That's inappropriate. Ben, thank you so much for your birthday. Congratulations that you gave me.
Yes.
Brendan, you're dead to me. No. Thank you guys both for the birthday wishes. We went to, I'll say this and we'll get out of here. We went to Council Oak, which is a really nice steakhouse inside of the Hard Rock Casino.
Oh, yeah.
The Seminole, for those FSU fans that listen, the Seminole Hard Rock Casino, as Brendan does the chop, I will definitely gift that. for the rest of all time. We will have that on camera.
I'm
The
buying
Seminole
journalist over here.
the Seminole Hard Rock Casino. We went to Council Oak, and they had a smoked old fashioned that was fantastic. Go check out our Tickle Talk to see that video that Brendan uploaded. It was really, really good. They used confiscated
not the
video,
the old fashioned.
Okay. The video went like semi-viral.
Video was good. Old fashioned was better, but the video was good. So anyway, Brendan, next time you come in town, Ben will treat us all to Council Oak. We'll have a great time. Noah and Ben will all split one steak and one side, but it'll be good. It'll be a fun time.
A side, water. They're all a cart. They're all a cart.
Yeah. So shout out. I got to shout out. My son turns 1 year old tomorrow morning. He'll be a year and a week old when this show drops. But shout out Bryant Lee Pittenger. Brendan, Ben, you guys got a shout out, or you just want to wrap this thing up?
Nope. Happy birthday, Bryant. Hopefully this counts as a phone call because your father is a big baby with text messages.
Ben.
No, I got no shout outs.
We do. Hey, we do
loved ones.
On the Double Fries pod, we do shout outs every week. And so like Richie's still in the state of life where like everybody's getting married like every week for him. So he legitimately has a shout out every week. Oh, shout out my buddy Ryan who's getting married this week, or shout out my buddy Tim who we had his bachelor party. Like every week he's got something. So I do a shout out with you guys one time, and you guys are just like, no one loves me.
I just shouted out your son.
No, I appreciate that, but Ben's like,
I don't have
I got nothing. Yeah, Ben.
I
mean, you literally know Bryant, so you could have done that, but you refused to. So
that seems too selfish.
Anyway, Bourbon on a Budget. We appreciate you guys for hanging out. We have a review coming on Thursday of Old Tub Bourbon. We are not going to love it. I already know that, but it's Old Tub Bourbon coming this Thursday. Go check it out. Bourbon on a Budget on all social medias. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok.
Tickly.
And did I mention Facebook? Facebook as well if I didn't mention it, but I think I did. Go check us out there and interact with us. We really appreciate it. For myself, TJ Pittenger, Brendan Sonnone, Ben Cock, this is Bourbon on a Budget. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers.
Stick in the landing.
Shout out Bryant.